That's awesome. I've never had a gong introduce this challenge before. Hey there, Chew Crew. I'm here with the family in Carmel, Indiana. It's a little bit north of Indianapolis. And I'm here at Kizuki Ramen Izakaya to take on their giant ramen challenge. Now, this ain't no 25-cent brick of dorm room ramen. This is the real deal. The challenge is, if you can complete 4 servings, which they serve up in a bowl that, at least from the pictures I've seen, I could probably bathe my 6-month-old daughter in it. It looks absolutely massive, but if I can complete the challenge in 30 minutes or less, I get the meal for free and an awesome t-shirt to add to my collection. If not, it comes to about $60. So we're gonna go in and dive into a giant bowl of ramen.
Okay.
3, 2, 1, go.
All right. Good luck to you, sir.
Thank you. You may have come to watch a food challenge video of a grown man demolish a giant bowl of ramen, but you'll definitely stay to watch an adorable 3-year-old eat calamari and wield chopsticks. So as I mentioned, this challenge was about 5 pounds total of ramen. 4 servings of their normal ramen, and they've got about 15 different varieties of ramen to choose from, all different meats, add-ons, and I decided to go with their most popular, which is their garlic tonkatsu shoyu ramen. And I added pork belly to it, and it's a specialty extra rich shoyu flavored pork broth with an abundance of garlic. You can also see some bean sprouts, some bamboo shoots, a fair amount of green onion, very, very rich broth, several sheets of roasted seaweed, heaping mounds of ramen noodles, and the stars of the show, in my opinion, were the soft boiled eggs. I got 4 of those. After Amelia's sweet dance moves, the next hottest thing in the restaurant was this bowl of ramen. No matter whether it was the first bite or the last, you can see the billowing clouds of steam coming off of this bowl, which was hands down the most difficult part of this challenge. Even after shaking out the broth from the noodles, blowing on them, they were just scalding hot. And that was something I knew going into the challenge was going to be an issue. When you have that much broth, that hot, it's going to retain that heat for a good amount of time, even if you stir it. So that was something I braced myself for going into this, knowing I'd lose a fair amount of time due to the temperature of the ramen. I at least had to give chopsticks a fair shake. I'm not terribly proficient with them, but if I'm eating at a reasonable pace, a normal meal, I'm halfway decent with a pair of chopsticks, but trying to eat 5 pounds of ramen with chopsticks in under 30 minutes, my skill set wasn't good enough to cut it. So I just brought out the pitchfork and started shoveling it in. How about you? Are you more team chopstick or fork and shovel? Let me know in the comments. And that's where you can really start seeing the steam coming out of this bowl. Despite the actual temperature of the ramen being extremely hot, the flavors were absolutely amazing. It was an extremely rich broth, which originally I wasn't sure if that was going to be a good play, considering 5 pounds of a very rich broth. That's going to slow you down. Knowing the garlic tonkatsu shoyu ramen was going to be extremely flavorful, I did opt for their less sodium version. I'm sure this bowl still had a solid 2 weeks worth of your recommended sodium limit, but I think that the lesser sodium paired really well with the richness of that garlic. And I'd have to say the star of the show for me with this ramen was the 4 soft boiled eggs. They were prepared absolutely perfectly. The yolk was nice and runny. It was a great creamy texture. They were still extremely warm, so it was kind of like a popping ball of lava in your mouth. But the flavors were fantastic. It was great with that butteriness of the noodle. I wish I would have actually had a few more of those eggs, maybe about 30 degrees Fahrenheit less temperature, but nonetheless, they were definitely my favorite part of the challenge. One thing I hadn't factored in was the steam from the ramen fogging up my glasses to the point where it was almost hard sometimes to see the bowl. I'm glad I wore glasses though versus contacts, because that steam probably would have hurt my face more.
Yeah, like that, Amelia. You know where your plate.
very good.
Yeah. Hey, you don't have to respond to me. You don't got, you can keep going. I love to hear it though.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is someone that is living their best life. It's debatable whether or not she's actually better at using chopsticks than I am, but she definitely plays it off better than I do. Aside from it being a pretty cold day and thinking that a small bathtub worth of soup was a good idea, the main reason I wanted to try this challenge was that it almost seemed like a rite of passage based on everyone that's completed this challenge. All the big names that you can think of have downed at least one bowl of this giant ramen challenge. Joey Chestnut's done a couple of Randy Santel, Nathan Klein, Brandon the Garbage Disposal, and Molly Schuyler, which I know a lot of people may be thinking, what's the record time to eat 5 pounds worth of ramen? Well, I'm at about 5.5 minutes right now at this point in the video. Molly Schuyler just finished her second bowl at this time, completing her first bowl in only about 2.5 minutes. Absolutely incredible. So really the name of the game for me in this challenge was just making sure I got under that 30-minute time limit and minimizing the number of second-degree burns in my mouth. And all joking aside, there definitely was some singeing going on the roof of my mouth as I was trying to down bite after bite of this. So let's keep watching. I'm going to speed things up. We'll see if I can power through or if this super hot ramen gets the best of me. While we've ramped up to warp speed, now's a great time. If you want to click the like or subscribe button, please do so you can catch all of my latest eat feats and more. Probably including the adorable antics of my kids. While Amelia gave me a solid vote of confidence, I was starting to get a little bit worried filling up on all those tasty meats and noodles, knowing that I had a ton of broth left to consume that was going to fill every last nook and cranny. With all the solids basically picked out of the bowl, it was about time to get the liquid down. I hesitated for a second thinking about picking the whole bowl up, but I figured I'd be a little bit more civilized and use, I'd say, a small shovel to get some of that liquid down. One of the staff members finally caught eyes with me and made a tipping motion with the bowl as to challenge me to finish it off then and there. For those of you that know me well, I'd say my kryptonite, as it were, is very equivalent to Marty McFly being called chicken. If I'm told to polish off the remainder of a liquid in a container, I have that moral obligation to do so. So at that moment, I just picked the bowl up, tilted it back, and enjoyed the last of that savory, delicious broth.
Awesome!
In exchange for some mouth burns, my spoils of war for the challenge included getting the $60 meal for free and getting an awesome t-shirt to add to my collection. Absolutely love the design of this shirt. The roof of my mouth is burned in probably 20 different spots. 100% worth it though. It was absolutely phenomenal. The staff was amazing. Fantastic experience. 10 out of 10. Highly recommended. If you're ever in the area, stop by. You're gonna love it. If you enjoyed watching this video, please like, subscribe, comment, and as always, stay hungry. Thanks. Bye.